Well, I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot at and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot-wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Beat my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Good old boys, we're all the same. Ain't no way we will ever change. Ain't no harm by the things we do, or the trouble that we get into. Other than a while, every once in a while, we can't help it, it's just our style. Good old boys, it's all we'll ever be.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash Brent here from the Wade and Carter studio. The office is at 205. We appreciate everything John Paul and James Geets provide for us. Thank you, gentlemen. Great space. Might even have one or two available. So if you're looking for office space, let those two gentlemen know. We're live on Magic, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks for joining in wherever you are. If you're on the social medias, subscribe, follow, like, share with your friends. Make sure you share it publicly so more people get exposed to this wonderful, wonderful forum.
Might as well go ahead and thank the folks at Magic 95.9 for being on the air. I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank all the little people. Is there anybody we could have possibly missed?
No, I think that's it.
I've never heard such a kind and gracious introduction.
Well, I also want to thank God for giving us the opportunity to do
yes,
this
you
every
did well
morning.
today. Yes, yeah. I always like that guy. He's like, yeah, I was playing pretty good till Jesus made me fumble. I mean, it's always like the winner always thanks God. The other guys just,
Yeah, God didn't like me.
God didn't like me today.
Ricky King, Greg Garcia, Patrick Strauss on the podium this morning.
Jesus apparently not a Cowboys fan any longer since Tom Landry.
Or on the podium this morning. He's always on the podium.
There you go.
Shouldn't make jokes. I missed one. Now it's a belated birthday. But Greg Garcia.
He doesn't age. He's ageless.
Yesterday.
Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Dillon Feed. AT Dillon Feed wishing a belated birthday to Greg Garcia because we don't do birthdays here.
Nope.
It's a waste of time.
But if we did,
get a cake somewhere else. 75 degrees in Victoria under mostly clear skies, heading to a high today of 95, 75 to 95. Just another sunshiny day. Perfect. It's perfect weather.
Yeah.
95 is not that bad in September.
No. We'll be longing for it come January and the 30-degree threat of ice never comes.
Sure.
Scott Snow, Mark Kurtz, Marvin Mickish, Monty Howard.
I bet we have a colder than usual winter.
You know, I have the same feeling. I don't know why. Ryan Hopping, Amanda King, Linda Christ, Bobby Leister.
We're like the old Farmer's Almanac now. The old urban guys almanac. That's us.
I think we need to get one and put it in the restroom here.
Yeah.
Perfect reading for bathroom. It's good bathroom material. Called a Wednesday today, but Bobby Leister reminding us to get to Veracruz for Hot Stephen Caldo.
Well, today's a perfect day to go to Veracruz because you got the full menu. Like if your lunch partner says, I don't want caldo, it's 95 degrees, then you can still have drowning enchiladas or whatever. But the caldo is great at lunch, mostly because you can take a small bowl home.
Yeah.
They bring you a cauldron.
They really do. Heather Stewart, good morning. Jordan Glass, Lisa Poole, Michelle Hawkins, Jackie Parsons.
There's Jackie P. Good morning, ma'am.
Yep. Don't forget, get to Deerland Feed. Cattle cubes on sale while supplies last. And also all your deer season products, feeders, protein, corn. They've got it all. Deerland Feed.
Good stuff.
Justin Glass. There you go. Jackie says it's supposed to be a colder and early winter.
See, and
We
you
just got to
usually
that.
know, but Ash and I just said that. Very interesting, because I've had that feeling like this. To me, I know it's hot, but I've had this feeling that our summer has been somewhat mild. And remember, it was windy, so windy this year. Jared McCrugen says it's 9 o'clock there. Where is he?
He's in Nova Scotia, eh?
Hey, says, you sound different when I've been awake for a few hours.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or
I don't
not.
know. I don't know.
I don't
Just
know.
don't judge us by the content of the program, only by the content of our character.
So looking at the Atlantic hurricane map, there is something brewing in the eastern tropical Atlantic, a tropical wave that is somewhat disorganized at the moment, but there's about a 70% chance of formation in the next week. So that's the one area that forecasters are watching. Still kind of low in the Atlantic hurricane basin, but that cone of development kind of has its sights set on Haiti and
so like there's a
Cuba.
dot. There's a dot in the ocean that's a disorganized mess. But then they put out this cone of development that makes it look like it's a colony of Africanized bees coming at us. Look how big it looks. It's bigger than the South.
Well, that's the area where
I know that it could develop into. Come on.
Jerry Jacobs, Micah Patton.
What a group!
But
man.
we're in September, and this is the first real activity we've had.
Yeah,
everything else has kind of gone up a little bit up.
I don't know the exact date
East Coast
in October, but October is pretty much the end of hurricane season.
December 1st, technically. Well, typically, and I'm sure there's a meteorologist that'll debunk this now, but I remember years ago covering stuff when I was full-time in radio, and John Metz, who was an awesome meteorologist
shortstop, wasn't he?
out of Corpus Christi, told me that basically that first norther that pushes all the way down and into the Gulf,
right?
Once that happens, and he got all into the details, things shift in the atmosphere, and basically we aren't prone to hurricanes.
See, right now is when I wish Commander Cody was here, because I would say, Cody, when's the last time, the latest date that we can find that a hurricane made landfall via the Gulf of America? I can't even recall when that would be. I want to say I'm almost positive that in my lifetime that never happened after October 15th. That doesn't mean I'm right. I looked up here. Ash walked in today, and there's a Little League trophy. We've got some memorabilia. I've got a Wheelo. Did y'all ever play with a Wheelo? And there's my Coca-Cola Little League trophy from 1975. Wow. Scott Tomko will remember that era. There's Zed Stewart. Good morning, sir. Zed, I sent you a text. I have not had a reply, I don't believe. Please check that. Or have Cowboy look at it.
Melissa Hansen, Justin Switolski, David Glass. Good morning.
What a great group. What do you want to talk about today? Can we just like bounce off the idea that, good morning, Crystal Map.
Mark Zapata.
That why is it deemed as a failure? Like we always say, you're not a failure for asking for help. And if someone, one other stance is, if someone offers you help and you objectively need help, to me, it's not weakness to say, thank you. Yes, I'll take the help. Why are the governors of the blue states and the blue mayors in those states, Chicago, for example, doubling down that they not only don't want Trump's help with crime, they don't need Trump's help with crime, and there is no problem with crime in their cities. We reported here Tuesday that 59 people were shot in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. Donald Trump saying, hey, I'm here. I'm willing to help. We don't need your help. There's no problem here. There's a higher crime rate in red states. Great example, Tennessee, red state. The problem, the blue city of blues known as Memphis. Oh, in Memphis, the brothers be shooting each other's. And all of a sudden,
You can't say that. You're racist.
yeah, you can. It's true. You know,
No, it is true, and you can say it. But
if black people would quit killing black people, whether it be via the Planned Parenthood clinic, the drive-by shooting, whatever, there'd be enough black people that people like Jasmine Crockett might actually matter. Jasmine Crockett, to me, is just an irrelevant, bloviating, fake ghetto black person. I posted the other day, there was a beautiful, they were talking to her when she had first gotten into the Texas House, and she certainly wasn't faking her pride at being elected and how excited she was to serve. And now she's like, they all up in here now. They're my business.
well, it's
I'm like, don't give me that Kamala fake crap.
pandering. That's what she's doing.
To who? There's not
I
enough
don't
blacks to get you elected. There's just not. There
To
was
the
a
media.
time,
That's why it's a circus.
and they're
If she
killing
if
each
she
other.
doesn't act like that, think about it. When she didn't put on the act, she didn't get the media attention.
That's right.
When she puts on the act, she's the darling of the leftist media.
But
And
I don't
why?
get
Because they're the racists. They won't pay her any attention unless she's acting a stereotype that they expect.
Yeah.
And that's to sound uneducated.
She's
And
got
not
to
professional.
appeal
Yes.
to that because the educated black voter in huge numbers
Leaving the Democrat Party.
are
and
leaving
voting
the Democrat
Republican.
Party. I'm not saying they're going to all be Republicans. They're just not. They're not the diehard. I'm going to vote Democrat because my daddy did and his daddy did, and they always did. Very.
No, they're not registering. I mean, they're some are registering Republican, but a lot are remaining independent.
Right. They're
John
just
Anderson,
saying I'm not going to be a Democrat
Yeah.
anymore.
Tammy Williams, Tammy Keeling, good morning. Linda Christ. Communist whole objective is to have chaos and unrest. That's why they don't want Trump to fix it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, we can get into some of this because
Yeah. No, it was just a quick aside. I don't understand.
No, I think it's interesting. Federal judge yesterday ruling the Trump administration illegally deployed Guard troops, National Guardsmen and women and Marines to LA during the protests against immigration raids in June.
You know, a federal judge. You know who that is? It's somebody Obama appointed. Did you know the other day the Main Street media reported on a kid? I don't know. I have no idea how old he was, right? You can get close in your head. I'll let you do the math. Who was deported, and they said Obama award winner deported by Trump. You know what the Obama award was?
What?
In elementary school, when he was in the 7th grade,
You got a
this
letter?
kid got the Presidential Physical Fitness Award.
Are you serious?
That's a true story. The media says Obama award winner deported by Trump. It's Trump against the left. It's Trump against the Democrats. Trump against a minority. Their latest deal about being up in arms is that Trump is they are deporting this guy who happened to be a violinist. And it says Utah musicians rally behind violinists. Who's going to possibly play the violin if this guy's gone? Came here in
Is he taking a job Americans won't do?
Right. Came here in 98 on a 1-year visa.
Wait a second. Carry the ought. He's
26
been here
years.
26 years.
And I don't understand, again, I don't understand why you have a law. It is the law of the land. The Democrats talk about we've got to live by the law. Nobody's above the law. The guy, by the letter of the law, deserves to be deported. He's had 26 years. Both Obama administrations and the Biden administration to find a way to become an American. And now they're saying, hey, bro, you got to go. Oh, by the way, I think he picked up a DWI. Well, anyway, that doesn't matter. But the guy has been here all these years illegally, and they decide he's got to go, and the left is all upset because he happens to be a musician. He's just a good guy. He's just here. You're just here. You're just a good guy, but you're not abiding by our laws. That's not what we need in this country.
Have you noticed that narrative? They're all good guys. Abrego. Why, he's just a dad trying to raise his kids.
He's an MS-13 gun running, human trafficking, wife beating gang member.
POS.
Yeah, that's what he is. He needs to go. You took that right out of my mouth. I just chose not to go there.
I didn't say it.
No, I know, but I mean, that's what he is.
Yeah.
But why? Why does the left?
Because he's an illegal, and that's their poster child on the left.
Why does the left continue to cling to folks they don't really want in their neighborhoods? I mean, can you see folks like Jill Buchanan on the back patio at the country club going, I wish Abrego would just come live with me? I mean, really? Is that what you want? I don't get it. By the way, I did find out the Texas concrete guy, the Texas concrete deal a week ago when they picked up 27 people.
Yeah.
Did you know that ICE went there with warrants? It wasn't the Victoria County Sheriff's Office. It wasn't Victoria PD. It wasn't your friends and neighbors. ICE went there with warrants for Tres Vatos. 3 people. You know what happened when they drove up?
They scattered.
Looked like an ant bit. Everybody scattered. That's why they got picked up. Hey, why are you running? Come here. That's exactly what happened.
While we're on this topic, I did talk to a local construction home builder, and one of his tradesmen was picked up, fully documented.
This is a problem.
ICE was sitting outside the Sherwin-Williams.
Profiling. They're profiling painters. Got to be foreign.
Got to be. Followed this gentleman to his house.
Covert, undercover. I have the face mask on.
I don't know. I don't know all those details. But arrested him. He even went in his house and got all his documents. They just said, we don't care about that. Here's arrest them, process them, here, show up in court. I have a problem with this.
I do too. They should be.
And I've seen the papers.
Yeah,
he's got a green card.
He's got a green card.
He's got a social security number that says legally authorized to work in the United States.
Do you think some of these people of their own volition might be acting somewhat as bullies?
Maybe.
I'll tell you this.
Who's the one? I mean, I want to know who told. I mean, there was no probable cause there. You're standing outside of Sherwin-Williams.
While that's a shame, at the end of the day, it's a small price to pay to get rid of all the illegals. And people are going to say
he shouldn't have had to pay that price, because
I don't disagree.
The funny thing is, they tell you,
but he did.
When you get a green card, don't carry this thing on you. So he didn't. He left it at home. They waited till he got home.
Once he produced that, they should have left him alone if they confirmed his identification.
Absolutely, they should have.
That's me.
They were like, nope,
judge.
That's not our job. Your job was to follow this guy home, who's a law-abiding, legal resident, permanent resident of this country.
I don't know. My heart's breaking for him. But, hey, guess what? We'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to get deported. But, I mean, at the end of the day.
No, but now he's missing work. Gets arrested that day, gets processed. Now he's got to go back to court in a couple of weeks.
That sounds bad. So what do you do about it? What do you do? Educate the ICE guys better? Sure seems like there's a bunch of them, doesn't it? How'd they all come about? Who did they work for before?
ICE guys? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's very frustrating. You don't want people, you want to get the people who are breaking the law, like those Chinese scientists that were coming in and they're Chinese scientists. They're here, and then they were bringing in like drugs.
Yeah. And stealing all our trade
viruses.
secrets.
Remember, they brought in viruses. That's what it was. Yeah, those people need to go.
And they're here legally on student visas and research visas.
Yeah. By the way, there's one thing, and I was listening to Mike Slater this morning on Breitbart. One thing that is worth noting, a place that I have a difference with Donald Trump is him saying that he's going to bring in 600,000 Chinese students. That number just seems awfully high to begin with. That's not really the point. But that's a number he used. And I mean, for all I know, that's over 10 years. I don't know, but that's what he said. It bothers me because usually I can connect the dots that you don't have to think about. And in this case, I can't because it's counterintuitive with everything he's doing.
We don't want to do business with them.
He's punishing them.
We're mad at their crappy steel.
And you're communist. But now we're going to bring in your students. And I'm thinking,
we don't trust their businesses. We didn't trust TikTok because it's owned by the Chinese government, but we're going to bring in students that the Chinese allow out of their country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
it's not lining up, considering whenever we hear lately stories of researchers and students who have stolen our trade secrets, they're all Chinese.
Absolutely. They're all communist. And it makes you wonder if he's dangling that as like a little carrot to the Chinese government over something to do with trade. It's the only thing I can think of because it's the one thing he's pretty consistent with. I'm going to do this, and all of a sudden, boom, Chinese. And that just seems odd to me. So we're going to continue to watch that and figure out what he's quite often the president's playing chess while other people are playing checkers and reporting on checkers and watching checkers. But I think now it's important to really watch.
Does this make this Chinese checkers?
Could be. Better known as chess. Since 1861, only 11 storms have moved through the Gulf in November, and none of them have made landfall in either Texas or Louisiana. There you go. Yeah.
Kathleen Leininger says that Indian truck driver that killed 3 in Florida on that with that illegal U-turn. Apparently, the Indian government reporting that he has ties to a terrorist organization and was linked to hundreds of murders in India.
He wasn't poor. His family is wealthy. His family owns multiple farms in his country. He paid $25,000 to be smuggled across our southern border, paid $400 to an Indian politician to claim the status of asylum seeker with the Biden administration, went through a bogus truck driving school, blah, blah, blah. There you go.
This has been a huge problem, and it's really surfaced in Canada, where they will modify rigs, and they will have teams of 4 to 6 drivers in a rig, and they will never stop, except for gas. They doctor their logbooks. The trucks never. There's no satellite tracking system on most of these trucks. But again, they're hauling legitimate freight. So the companies, I mean, I think the guy that smashed into that those 3 people smashed into when he was pulling the illegal U-turn has pulled freight for large national retail chains.
So folks like that and folks like the concrete people, what are the penalties? And are they enforced?
I don't know. I mean,
to the employer that brings in these people?
They should be. I have no idea what Texas concrete, but there's, I mean,
I don't even know what's prescribed. Does anybody know what's prescribed?
I mean, I don't know how you could hold a retail chain liable for the truck company.
Yeah, you can't blame
Walmart,
company,
right?
Because Central Freight Lines or someone brought it. By the way, I haven't seen a Central truck in a long time. You can't blame them for bringing, you can't hold them accountable. They're just the recipient of the legal load.
But listening to trucker advocates, the trucking industry is fighting against these rogue Indian truckers. It's where they all come from. They're coming from India.
But you also hear people that kind of want to dismiss the illegals as they blame the employer. The illegal's still illegal. That guy still needs to go. Now, we need to dissuade, discourage, punish, fine the employer, because again, if there's no demand, there's nobody here. What's Michelle Wilson-Hawkins telling you?
We were in downtown Durango on Sunday, saw an ICE protest, started to rain. They scattered like roaches back to their mom's basements.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, why would you protest ICE? I don't get it.
I mean, if you're that steadfast for your cause, why would rain hold you back from protesting,
the left,
right?
It's too hot for the Black Lives Matter protest. Zane Zedster says, you're assuming all these stories are true and that the reporters are telling the truth. Good point. Good morning, Judge.
Kelly Frommie says she thought that Trump backpedaled on that with the...
I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
Peter McNally, leave them alone. They're producing for the American economy.
Oh, Peter, seriously?
Let me take this one a different direction.
Please.
Because it's tied together. Remember a few years back, they raided that restaurant in Refugio, Mexican restaurant, full of illegals? Tied to the cartel, money laundering, people smuggling, drugs, cartel activity, probably. But they're just producing for the American economy because they're making the Mexican food we like to eat.
Yeah, that's not right. Peter,
there's the stretch, that. Peter. And it's not even a stretch.
Peter, you don't believe that.
You can't really believe that this is what we should be doing for the American economy.
He doesn't. He doesn't believe that. John F. Kennedy didn't believe that, Peter. You shouldn't believe that either.
Carrie Bump, good morning.
The idea that you would say, hey, they're producing, they pay taxes, they're just trying to get by. Come here legally. We let 1 million folks a year legally.
It's 10 times the size of Victoria County in this country.
Every year. Every year. Think about it. There's no way that Peter McNally really believes that. He's just, and I appreciate it. It gives us a straight line to play off of, and that's what he's doing, and we appreciate his input.
Give him too much credit sometimes.
You think I give him too much credit? Peter, if you really believe that, please stay indoors. If you're here illegally, you should be deported. If you don't like our immigration laws, they should be revised. It's really pretty simple.
The strings I had placed on me as a legal immigrant kept me walking the straight and narrow.
And by the way, they made you a better American. That's why you're so steadfast in your resolution on the way you feel about things.
I could have worked illegally. I chose not to because it was illegal.
Yeah. It's pretty simple, really.
Face deportation if I took 1 penny of government assistance at any level for anything. Now we just come on over. Here you go. Here's a cell phone. Here's an app to file your false asylum claim.
Scan those next 5 comments. I'll take a quick break, folks. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Be ready. Go have fun. Palace Bingo, supporting local charities. I think 7. Go enjoy Palace Bingo and help your neighbors. USA Concrete Coatings. We talk about sand it, seal it, stain it, paint it. It's all there. They can do it all. Tough as nails polyurethane coat that won't crack, stick, peel, or fade. Astros logo, maybe a Yankees logo. Yankees, my team. Veracruz Restaurant, we talked about Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Let Allen's be your go-to to. They help everybody, big rigs, local people, you name it. Allen's Wrecker Service, the dollar floor store. Whether you want luxury vinyl, laminate flooring, hardwoods, carpet, maybe you just need to clean your carpet and have new padding. Dollar floor store can help you achieve your underfoot goals, get you a good footing. White Trash Services, we're joined this morning by BJ Nelson. Good morning, Ms. Nelson. White Trash Services and White Trash Site Services, inviting you to go full circle, whether you want to tear down a structure and have it hauled off, or if you need weekly trash service in the multi-county contiguous area all around us, and Reno, Nevada, Las Vegas,
Lake McQueen,
Florida. Give them a call. Begin service now. Pick up a new trash can. Paravita Wellness. You can buy and get your meals.
I will today.
I will
too.
too.
Yesterday.
Get in and get healthy. Paravita Wellness, helping you define your macros. I need so much protein, so much of this, so much of that. I don't need any gluten. I don't need any preservatives. Paravita Wellness is there to help you
help
healthy.
Yourself. Yep.
And lastly, Chesnick Furniture. Chesnick and Love make your house a home. Get in and see why you just always do better at Chesnick. Bobby Leon and his family serving you and yours for over 105 years.
They'll sell you the best furniture around. Greg Garcia, what part of they broke the law do people not understand? That's a white construct, Greg.
Yeah, it's a skewed law, Greg. It's a very white centric, and we should all be apologetic for
even though every society anywhere has laws, and values and morals.
I just don't understand that. I mean, I really don't. Like I said, when I was a kid, I knew Democrats, I knew Republicans. In fact, when I was a little kid, I thought Republicans were like just way too stringent. And I was Baptist. And I look at it and I go, I don't understand. It's like everybody wanted what was best for America. It's just the Democrats cared a little more about people, and they cared their best with other people's money.
That's not changed.
No, but that was the truth. I mean, the Democrats were all about, for example, the Democrats were all about affirmative action. At the same time, the exact same time that they're wholesale killing black babies.
Well, now we know why they were for affirmative action. It was to keep disenfranchised people down.
Absolutely. But they were all about, we've got to give them a hand up instead of demanding personal responsibility. Didn't happen. There is no personal responsibility. Black people are too stupid to be responsible. That was the Democrats' position.
Didn't Joe Biden say that?
Yeah. Black people, inner city blacks don't know how to get on the internet. Really, Joe? Why don't you show us real quick how to log in? At any rate, as the years have gone on, the Democrats have become more and more of a freak show. If you had, I mean,
they become
tomorrow,
a communist freak show. That's where this party is going. They are the Communist Party of America.
If I started a group tomorrow that only wore green,
olive green,
that's all we wore is olive green, and we worshiped tree frogs, the next thing you know, they'd go, he deserves equal rights, and let's all come on into the Democrat Party. You're so disenfranchised. Never mind the fact that you're a nut. And here's the problem. Formerly sane people, of which we have a few that are regulars on our program, they were sane people. They worked careers. They cared about people. They were John F. Kennedy type Democrats, Bobby Kennedy Democrats.
Well, have you noticed what they're doing now with some of their posts and memes and things, the Democrats? They're skewing liberalism in its base is freedom, right? That's the Libertarian Party in essence, if you're
right
politically. Well, they're trying to reclaim that phrase that's all they're looking for. And that's all they stand for. Yet the liberal Democrat is about control of your life and to limit your freedoms
No doubt about it.
through government actions. That's
No doubt
where the
about it.
Democrat Party is, and they're skewing more and more socialist and more communist.
Well,
That's why they want Jane Adler gone.
but once again, per everything else, like Europe decided several years ago, hey, this is out of control. We're allowing these teenagers to lop off their bits, and boys are deciding that they're girls. And we got to stop this madness. And that's still at a fever pitch here in the U.S. And you have doctors, you have scientists. We must affirm these people. Yeah, I mean, okay, I get it. You can pump a guy full of hormones and he'll grow breasts and his voice will soften and he'll no longer be a guy. But that doesn't make him a girl. That just makes him screwed up.
More screwed up than he already was.
Right. Hi,
We're
Daniel
thinking he's something he
Simigo.
wasn't. Good morning, Marina.
Hi, Marina. Yeah. So you
remember in the 80s?
But the left is all for that. No Republican. There's no Republican that says, if Billy wants to be a Sheila, let him have it.
Remember in the 80s when we tested predominantly because of Soviet and East Germans and Polish females for testosterone in international athletic competitions?
Right.
Because
they were cheating.
testosterone made them stronger?
Yeah. No doubt.
It gave them unnatural and unfair advantages that didn't exist in the female body naturally.
But see,
they became stronger, faster, more powerful, and now
go down the path though. Follow, like I always say, follow the money, but follow the logic. If the goal of women's sports is to allow the least feminine people to dominate women's sports,
former men,
why have women's sports? And what's so crazy,
that party can't even define a woman anymore.
Well, and what's so crazy about that, Ash, is that there's nothing more Democrat than Title IX. The idea that every girl should have the same opportunity as every boy, even though the valid argument is women's sports are a financial drain on universities. There's no getting around the fact. Men's sports drive the bus. College football, college basketball.
That's about it.
Drives the bus. If you only played sports that made money, there would be no men's tennis team and there would be no women's sports whatsoever.
And there probably wouldn't be men's baseball either.
Probably not.
Softball's actually driving a
number of schools.
Softball's driving some revenue at some schools.
So does it not just strike you as absurd that it's not the Democrats who are the champions of Title IX and women's sports? That blows my mind. Just like it's always blown my mind that the Democrats are the party of the disenfranchised and the folks that can't take care of themselves. But the Democrats are the ones that scream, abort that baby. It ought to be free. If it's born, just drive a nail in its head. It's okay. There's no reason to hold the mom and or the dad responsible. Heck, if we're lucky someday, the dad can have the baby. Let's support that. Pump the boy full of, a guy could do this. He could go to the little sperm bank and leave a sample and then go become a woman and have we'd have to do that whole egg thing. Don't worry about that. And then we can implant the egg in him and fertilize it. He can have his own baby. Right. You're right. He can't. But the left is like, that's his right.
They're just waiting for science to make that happen.
Don't steal his dreams. And that's the party of Pete McNally. So when he tells you, leave them alone, they're just helping America. People like Pete need to stay indoors.
They completely ignore Margaret Sanger's ramblings about eugenics.
Oh, she hated black
into the
people.
1950s, late 50s.
She hated black people, period. Crazy.
Ricky King says problem with illegals. A lot of them have papers when they go through E-Verify. They pass the E-Verify who they are, so people hire them. Then they're illegal when they're picked up. Because the counter,
there is a lot of that.
Because the counterfeit, I guess, is good. I don't know. I just went through this process, switching over to another system.
Well, if an employer at least uses E-Verify and can prove that they're doing their part, then I don't hold the employer accountable for a bad outcome. If I bring you in and ask you, are you here on a visa, and you say yes, and you produce paperwork, and it turns out later that you're not actually on a visa and the visa was fake, then I'd be tempted to, give you a pass. But if I hire 27 people and they're all illegal, those people,
they're all named Pedro Sanchez, and they all have the same social security number.
Those people probably need to be deported, and those companies need to be fined.
Yeah.
So
thank you for making our argument. Employers don't put illegals on the books because they don't want to pay the employment taxes on them. So there goes that argument. Well, they're just here paying taxes.
But by the way, I am not, and trust me, I ain't afraid of nobody. I ain't afraid of getting sued. I ain't afraid of nothing. I'm just telling you, I'm not making that statement about any local business here. I'm not saying that Texas Concrete didn't. I'll go a step further. I'm not saying that Texas Concrete knowingly hired illegal people. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know what level of falsified documents may have been presented to them. I don't. I find it hard to believe, but you never know. They might have had 75 applicants for those 27 jobs. Really. But I can't make that statement that a local employer would leave people off the books. Now, I get it. And it's, the problem with stereotypes is they're usually based in a lot of truth. I can't help it if there's concrete finishers, bricklayers, home framers that are illegal. I can't help that. I did find it interesting. Didn't they pick up an illegal working on our new Justice Center the other day?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they did. So, Well, hey, did you see anything about the release of 33,000 Epstein file documents? How many documents did that guy have? You got 33,000 documents in your life?
Isn't it funny though?
I mean, that's about as many as Hillary Clinton, deleted.
Deleted, yeah. It's always funny that all these bad guys in movies always have the documents in a file somewhere, right?
What is that like? I'm committing a crime. I better document it.
They're not smart enough.
We're going to find that one little petty kid that you're going to find his documents, and he, stole 200 pieces of gum, and he wrote it down every time he stole some gum.
I did see the headline. I'm trying
33,000.
I'm trying to find the headline. I did see it somewhere.
That is crazy. Make sure you quote your source.
I will when I find it.
Folks, we read every day to you from the Epic Times, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, from Fox, MSNBC, CNN, all of them. We're an equal opportunity plagiarist. We're here for you.
Except we don't do it on purpose. That's the difference. I saw longtime college basketball coach George Raveling passed away. I just caught that. And
didn't he also do a lot of?
He's a Hall of Famer. He was at Washington State right before I got there. But
wasn't he also a broadcaster?
Yep, did some broadcast work. Was had a great career at USC once he left Washington State. By the way, but just a good gentleman. Passed
It's
away
funny.
from cancer.
88.
Worked for Nike as well, and Ohio State topping off the AP football poll. Penn State, LSU running up the top 3. So
There you go.
That's the AP poll. Those fact checkers.
Is
Texas.
that the one that matters? I think we dropped to 7.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like I said, I think that's going to take a bunch of pressure off of the program, and I look for them. It's hard, man. You go 12-2, 13-3. You got to validate that.
Yeah.
Man, Texas Tech is about to hire a new chairman of the Board of Regents. They've got that one guy. They have this one guy. There's one guy at Texas Tech that matters. His name's Cody Campbell. He's a multi-billionaire. And so he's like on everything. He's on the Red Raider Foundation. He's also the chairman of the Board of Regents. He's also the top football donor because they've got that one guy. That's what they've got. And he is now given his support to another gentleman that's going to come in as the chairman of the Board of Regents, who is right now, let's see, he's a state rep or state senator from Conroe. And I don't know his name because it's Tech. Sand Aggies. Nobody cares.
Yahoo News reporting 33,000 Epstein files have been released. Only 3% of the documents contain any details, according to Democrats on the House Oversight the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. So
down in the fine print, this batch subpoenaed by the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee contains almost exclusively information that has already been released publicly.
So
the Trump administration looking for a win. Hey, we're going to give out this data, and you find out there's nothing there.
So in their effort to save trees by forcing everybody to use email and scan things, they've just made photocopies upon photocopies, and now we're releasing 33,000 photocopies of files that have already been copied and released.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Andy
Ridiculous.
Rokovich adds, gender identity disorder is in the DSM-5. If you have 5 out of 9 indicators, then you have a mental illness. For some reason, the left tells us to treat them like their mental illness is a right. It's just not. It's just not. And I'm not saying that there's not people who genuinely believe that they are women when they're men. They feel like they're trapped in a man's body. I get that. But you have mental health issues. You're not to be affirmed, supported, and given special treatment. I love the people, the naive and ignorant, of which there are so many, who come around and say, well, maybe we just need to create the transgender. You got your male sports and your female sports and your tranny sports. The problem with that is we can't even afford the female sports. Brian Small says, wait till I release the Carter Files. It's been done.
Well, there's the problem, though. The transgender population of this country is so small. There would not ever be enough of them to want to say, you know what, we need a sport. We need to play this sport. They would, the first one wanting to play that sport somewhere would die before they ever had enough people, and it would just that's how it would go. It'd be an endless loop of somebody standing up going, I need this team because this is the sport I want to play as a transgender. And they would die before they ever got it would never fulfill its self-fulfilling prophecy because it would never fulfill itself. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's not enough critical mass for them to act, and then nobody would watch it.
Be small. If you ever decide you want to just really learn more about yourself than you ever knew, just run for any public office as a claimed conservative, because the left will malign, and the same people that scream tell me your sources will run with innuendo and rumor and lies and misconceptions. And it's the most cleansing thing I've ever done. It just let me know who the idiots are. And I've had a blast with it. It's been great. It's given me the right to scream from the mountaintops about the idiots. Yeah, you're right. I get that, Be Small. There you have it.
Junior Samples. I don't know what this conversation is.
They're talking about, I think, applying for a job and having
Oh.
to show a birth certificate.
Never had to show them for birth certificate for a job. Show my passport.
Yeah. Well, your passport
for I-9
implies you have a birth
verification.
certificate,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
What else is happening? This could be interesting. Paramount going to make a Call of Duty live action film adaptation. They're going to go Modern Warfare, or they're going to go back to World War II. The World War II ones always seem to be the ones that make the most money for Call of Duty, I think. Modern Warfare was all right. Have they done, I don't think they've done a Vietnam era one, though. That'd be interesting.
Do you think as time goes on, I mean, I did. I went to the legislature a number of times this year and sat and listened to the debate and the pontification about
and the bloviation.
Oh, there was a lot of just. Well, there's no getting around, and I'm sure this is the case in every session, but the minority party just talks the most absurd nonsense, really, just to tie up the proceedings. They call it tradition. I call it a waste of time. But as time goes on, I get it. A couple of things I took away from this last session when they were talking about education was that in real dollars, even though this was a record increase in funding to our schools, forget vouchers. Just the funding to our schools received a record increase, an all-time record increase. But in real dollars, it didn't get us back to 1999. It's the old inflation deal, cost of living increase. What we used to buy for $1.99 cost $1.86 today. So the fact that you gave me $1.50 raise doesn't get me there. I'm moving backwards. And I get that.
So are most people in this world.
Welcome to the real world. But I get that. But I wonder if, and there's a handful of people that mean well, that I'm convinced are just confused that this voucher program is going to just destroy our public schools. It's over. They act like there's going to be a mass exodus to wherever they think these kids are going to go. I think St. Joe has 5 open seats. Good luck. Go fight for them. I keep trying to figure out if there's more to it. I think it's a big power move involving curriculum and who controls it and all of that. And the fact is, I keep coming around to, I'm just not sure it matters. There's people that want to get rid of the STAR test. There's the TEKS or whatever. And the next thing you know, you're kind of like, what does it matter? Our public schools suck, except in the areas, call it what it is, folks. The only schools that do really well are the schools where you've got a lot of 2-parent families, a lot of community buy-in. A lot of that is centered around athletics. It just is. I don't know why Katy outperforms other places on the football field and in their classroom. I don't know. A lot of white people, a lot of moms and pops. I can't help it. It just is what it is. The public school has to take everybody. I get that. Special needs, public school. It's, you don't see a lot of private schools begging you to send your special needs kid unless there's special needs schools that get federal funding for taking your special needs kid. But if you think that what they're doing at the legislature, one way or the other, is going to miraculously heal Texas education, you're wrong. Don't forget that all these illegals, their kids have been in our schools. We've acquiesced. We've got to have English as a second language. We've got to teach them in Spanish. We've got BS. Learn English.
You know what's interesting? We teach English in our schools. There are countries that outperform us that do not teach their native language in their schools. You're just expected to know it. Oh, but they do teach you and expect you and require you to learn 3 other languages. But your native language spoken in that country, you're on your own.
Fair enough.
But not here.
Here's a quote: public dollars are for public schools. It's about use of tax dollars and accountability for use of those dollars. Now the Dems are all about accountability. Schools receiving vouchers are not required to meet the same finance rules or accountability rules for receipt of public tax dollars. Here's my problem with that. It's not about a competition between who can do it better, public schools or private. They don't play by the same rules. Of course, their grades are going to be better than ours. Then you know what? Everybody ought to be in a private school because our public schools aren't getting it done. And it ain't because they ain't got enough money. It's not because the public school doesn't have enough money. It's been said, 48% of our state budget goes to public education. How much of that is wasted? I don't know. There's a lot of free meals and things. Pack a lunch, sit down, shut up and learn something. I don't know. I don't get it. Tammy McElroy Williams. Victoria has an entire school for Spanish-speaking students. I'd close it. The best thing you could do is teach them English. The best thing, if all you learned in the public school was how to speak English, you'd be ahead. Why are my tax dollars going to teach someone who's probably illegal to speak Spanish only in the school? It's ridiculous. You live in America. Learn some English. Take a quick break.
We won't declare a language as an official language.
That's because of politics. No doubt about it. Went Services, Went Electrical. Went, call them. They speak English.
Switzerland has 4 official languages, by the way.
There you go. Went Services for all your electrical needs. Generators, turnkey generators. Reach out to them today. Atzenhofer and atzenhofer.com. You need a new Chevy. You need a new Mitsubishi. Reach out to Atzenhofer. Also, beautiful pre-owned vehicles. Brand us. Commander Cody back in studio tomorrow. First State Bank of Louise Astros update. Astros get beat yesterday. Didn't play well. Fromber didn't do great. I don't know if he did too bad, but did you hear some controversy about Fromber Valdez saying he wasn't going to play next year unless the Astros paid him what he deserves? B. Small says press 1 for English. That's ridiculous in this country.
I agree.
It is.
But then again, when you press 1, you get somebody on the other line who can barely speak English.
Yeah. Peter McNally says low-performing schools are fighting poverty all the time. Check it out. It's not because they don't have enough money. Can't help it.
And where are they located? Inner cities?
Yeah.
Houston?
Sure. Single moms. Bless their hearts. There's a lot of baby daddies out there. There ain't a lot of dads. Trust me. I know that. Brian Small says Fromber doesn't speak English. Fromber Valdez is here probably on a visa, pays a lot of taxes, and has an interpreter. I have no problem with Fromber, can speak French for all I care. Daniel Bird says a civil war would fix a lot of our issues. Yeah. Hard to argue. It's not ideal.
Or just take the warning labels off equipment. That's his 2 solutions to
right.
it.
Yeah.
7-1, Yankees beat the Astros yesterday.
Monty Howard says, one of my elementary schools, he's an architect, near the San Antonio Medical Center is in a vast immigrant community that has something on the order of 53 languages among the new kids. Guess what? We teach English. If you go to Asia tomorrow, they don't teach you in English. You better learn how to say kimchi or you ain't eating. Tell me I'm wrong.
Visit Mexico. All the signs are in Spanish.
Yep.
You need to learn a little bit of Spanish to get around.
100%.
But also the shopkeepers who are entrepreneurial enough and want the American dollar, they'll speak enough English to get your dollar from you.
I also find that when I'm in Mexico, when I make the effort to speak their language, when I make the effort to speak their language, they're more than eager to help me. I've also found that in Europe.
Yep.
But when you come to America, you get to go, no habla, teach me in my native tongue. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Sell me your product in my native tongue.
That's why I'm for vouchers. I don't want my kid in that environment. There you have it. Common sense brought to you daily by the geniuses at Wade and Carter.